Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, and the translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my story as anonymous? I have come here because I want to share with you my secret, the things that I have been doing, and I want other women to understand that you cannot just go around revenging other women without you ever facing any consequences. I never thought that having all of this power, it would take the life of my beloved daughter. Now that Christmas is fast approaching, I keep on asking myself, how am I going to survive this trauma that I have brought upon my life? Because it was something that I used to do each and every Christmas. Me and my daughter, we would go out on what we used to call mom and daughter date. This year, I don't know, I still have one child, but he is my son, my daughter. I have since sacrificed my daughter simply because I wanted to revenge all the women that I knew that were dating the men that I was married to. And I ended up having the woman that I was now married to killed because of the way that he had broken my heart. I joined Satanism through a Zimbabwean TikTok prophetess that I met by mistake. I hate the day that the live video that she was doing was recommended onto my feed. I wish that I had just skipped, but I just wanted to know what were they talking about, even though I do not understand Shona at all. I joined the live and I saw that there were a lot of prophecies that were happening, and because I needed a prophecy to be told about my life because of the things that were happening in my life, I thought that these were the workings of God. Brother Nashi, I am a 33-year-old woman. I was born in Pietermaritzburg in KZN. So I then came to Cape Town with my husband after my husband had received a transfer at his work, and he was promised that we were going to get more money, and we decided to move from Durban North where we were staying, and then we came to Cape Town. And when we came to Cape Town, then my husband, he then started to cheat on me. He had been cheating on me with almost everyone that I knew back home. My cousins, sisters, he had slept with them, including my closest friends. So I thought that moving to Cape Town, it was going to change my husband, but I saw that my husband is like a leopard and he will never change his skin. When we arrived in Cape Town, he would always work very late, and when he would tell me that he would be working late on that day, and I would think that he was telling me the truth. But I found out that he had been sleeping around with some people at the place where he was working. I then decided to look for a job because I said, since I am the one that is not working, he is taking advantage of me. That is why he is always cheating on me. I then decided to look for a job, started dropping my CVs, and then I got a job at this other restaurant where I started working. Whilst I was working at that restaurant, then my husband asked for a divorce. He told me that he had met another woman, and this woman that he had met, he wanted that woman to become his wife, his partner. I was shocked. We were married. We had a marriage certificate, but this man, he just wanted us to divorce because he had met a new woman that he had just been dating for a month. And I saw that my marriage was over. There was nothing left for me to fight for. We had been fighting for a very long time. And he said that since he had done all of these things to me, he did not trust the love that I still had for him. He said, now that you are working, I know that you will end up sleeping around, and I do not want you to bring me some diseases that I do not know where they are coming from. And I said, oh, so now because I am working, I'm going to bring diseases into this house. How about the time that you were sleeping with everyone that I know? why was I not worried about that? But he said that he had made up his mind. He did not want us to continue with the marriage anymore. I thought that he was joking. His parents even came to Cape Town to try and to talk with me and him, but they saw that the marriage was over. He was no longer understanding. In fact, the day when they arrived the next morning, he brought his new partner and he introduced that woman, and he said, unless if you want to stay, but you will know that there will be two of you. And I said, I can't do that. And he said, so you see, you do not want to work with me. I moved out and I started staying in the locations because I could not afford to stay in the suburbs anymore. He said that since I was staying in the location, he did not want his kids to stay in the location. So he was staying with the kids and with that woman. The kids would come and visit me during the weekends. I then started to date another man. When I was dating that man, I was still a heartbroken woman. I just wanted someone to just tell me that I was a woman that could be loved. And this man, he just came into my life and he stole my heart, and he told me that everything was going to be okay. He then said that he wanted to marry me. So I did everything as quickly as possible. Even my ex-husband was surprised because I was not even fighting for anything during the divorce proceedings. Whatever that he would say, I would just say, okay, it is fine, whatever that you want. So then I got married again to my new husband. We then started to stay together. I did not even know that he was also a cheater. He was someone that had money, and he brought me out of the location back to the suburbs. And we were having a wonderful time. I was even thinking about falling pregnant. And then I found about the affair in the worst way. And there was this other woman who kept on posting my husband. And this was so weird to me. I found this when I was using my husband's phone. I don't know why I even ended up going on Facebook. You know, like an iPhone, it is the habit of grouping some apps together. So there was an app that I was looking for where I usually book the people that was doing my hair, and I mistakenly pressed on the Facebook icon and I went on Facebook, and then I started to see that there was this other woman that kept on posting some pictures that I did not even know about my husband. I then confronted my husband and he said, we once met at this other party and we started fighting, until he said, so you think that you are the only woman in my life? There are other women that I want you to know about, and there is no need for you to fight with me. He said he was like a bull, and a bull cannot be tied down to one cow. And I said, so I am a cow. And he started telling me all of these things that were so painful. And I knew that I was now married to the same man that I thought I had ran away from. I started crying. I spent so many days just crying, listening to sad songs, praying to God that I wanted my husband to change, because he had left me at that time. He said, you are too toxic for me. You're always asking me where I have gone to. Then one night, whilst I was scrolling on TikTok, that was when a live video popped up, just like what TikTok always do, recommending all of this live when people are doing their lives on TikTok. There was this other woman. She was a Shona speaking woman. She was wearing white stuff. She had a white duke, and she was speaking with some people that were on her live on TikTok. It was not a lot of people that were on her live, maybe about 50 or so. And then the caption that I saw was like, join my life if you want revenge, if you want to restore your marriage. I pray for you and you can see the results. If it was not for that caption, I was not going to join the live because I was not going to understand anything. So I clicked, and she was praying for people that were in the comments. When you wanted to pray for you, you had to say a comment, and she'll be like, you there, the one that is crying because of betrayal, your tears have power, and you are going to overcome whatever that you are going through. So when I also just put my comment in the comment section. That was when she said to me, I can see you. I want to speak with you. Can you come on top? So then she then put me onto the live as well. And she said that she wanted to pray for me. She said that you have been crying today. Why have you been crying? And then I told her that my husband had been doing all of these things to me, and now he was with a girlfriend, and I wanted him to regret the things that he had done to me. She replied instantly. She said, where are you? And I said, I am in Cape Town. And she was like, this is the working of the mermaids. But she spoke in Shona, and I had to ask her to tell me what she was saying. She was telling the other people that were on the live that this was the working of the mermaids. The mermaids had called me to the live, and I said, what kind of a Christian are you that you heal people using mermaids? Then she started to laugh, and she said, don't you know that the mermaids, they are also angelic beings that were sent down from heaven by God, and they can bring your prayers to God very fast because they are very close to God. And I was like, that is very interesting. She told me that she was going to pray for me, and I was supposed to put a curse on my husband and all the women that he was dating. And I said, curses, I'm not sure about cursing people. And she said, my daughter, do not even be scared. These people, they have laughed at you, but I want you to curse them so that they can feel the heat, so that they can be burned by the same fire that they used to burn you. That night, she asked us to follow her back up account for a private session. There were about 30 women. Most were from Zimbabwe and a few South Africans. She prayed for an hour. I could not understand what she was saying, but all that she instructed us to do, I had to do an emergency Mr. D delivery to bring me some candles from this other Caltex shop, and then we were told to hold the candles. 3 candles. I could not find red candles. At least I found white candles. So I was holding 3 candles, and I was holding salt, and in front of me there was a glass of clear water. And she started to pray for us. She prayed until my legs grew tired, and she said no one is supposed to rest, because the moment that you rest, then it means that these people that you want bad things to happen to them, they are going to find rest. Let us not give them rest, women. Are you with me or you are not with me? And all of us, we would respond and we would say, we are with you, woman of God. The next morning, I woke up shaking. Part of me said that whatever that we had done, it was totally wrong. But another part of me wanted my husband back, and I said he deserves everything that he is going to go through because of the things that he did to me. I did everything that she told me to do. She told us to play certain songs backwards. I had never thought about this in my entire life, that there are people that pray listening to Christian songs. She told us to look for a song, Mighty God, and I had to download that song. It was through the help of another woman who told me that a phone could download the song. Because I'm using an iPhone, I was unable to download an app that could download the video without paying. So after I had gotten the song, then we were told to play this song reverse, and they told us to download this other app where you can reverse any audio. And after I had reversed that audio, then I started to listen to it, and I was cursing. I was saying that everything that had been said in the song, it has to be reversed to reverse the curse of humiliation. It sounded strange, but when the song was playing, I felt something that entered into my hands through my fingernails, and I felt so much heat in my hands. I told the woman that this was what I was feeling, and she said, yes, this was part of the program. The mermaids, they were listening to me from the sea, and they were hearing the pain that was in my blood. That very same night, I was surprised. Sandile called me and he was crying and he said, to leave, forgive me because I'm not feeling so okay. I know what I did was wrong and I want to return back to you. He came back to me. I told the prophetess and everyone rejoiced that he had came back. This was on the 29th of June, and then on the 30th, that was when we went to the sea. We went to the beach with those candles that we had. We threw those things into the ocean, and when we were throwing everything into the ocean, then we were saying all the curses that we wanted to happen to the people that had hurt us in our lives. And we did this together. This was the first time ever seeing the prophetess. She was someone that was very humble, and she even told me that I was now a member of their church, and I was going to be blessed quite well. After that, that was when I was told to open a business. I said, what kind of a business must I open? She told me even to start a salon. Within 1 month, I made so much money like I had never thought that I would make using a salon, and I was not even involved much because I do not know how to do anything. I had never worked in a salon before, so I looked for other women that were working for me. Then I discovered that I kept on having wet feet. When I would wake up in the morning, my feet would be soaking wet. If I was wearing any socks, those socks will be so wet. But the surprising thing about it was that the bed would be dry. And when I told the prophetess that this was what was happening, she told me that it is normal when you are dealing with marine spirits. They have a habit of stealing you when you are fast asleep. Then they take you to the ocean or to the rivers. We had to do a ceremony. She told me to buy some eggs, 6 eggs. I bought them and we went and we threw them into the ocean. I did not even know that the eggs that I was throwing into the ocean, I was accepting the spirit of the marine spirits to come and to possess my body. Fast forward, my daughter got so ill, even my ex-husband did not know what to do with our daughter. We drove back to Pietermaritzburg, where my parents were. We went with our child to the pastor. My child was prayed for, but my daughter passed away. And then I returned back to Cape Town, told the prophetess. She said she wanted to see me in person. We met. She then gave me a golden cloth, and she gave me a sky blue 2-meter cloth, which she said I have to wrap around my body when I go to bed to respect the marine spirits. That is how I got involved into the cult of the marine spirits. So there are other things now that I have been doing. Like if I date a man, I write the name of that man and I put it into the clay pot. And if a woman comes to do her hair into my salon, I have to write the name of that woman and I drop it into the clay pot. And whenever I drop someone's name into the clay pot, that person will end up giving me money for no reason at all. And I have been told that I cannot cut contact with the marine spirits because I am now connected to the ocean, and if I try to cut any connection with the ocean, then I will die. My ex-husband, he suffered so much for the pain that he brought into my life, even though now I regret because I sacrificed my daughter. I did not even know that there is a cult of mermaids that is in South Africa. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. That was the translation. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Let us try to talk about this in the comment section. Yo.